Hi, welcome to this video tutorial on using iGasLog. In this tutorial we're going to be looking at how to import data from your existing Royal College of Anaesthetists anaesthetic logbook into iGasLog and vice versa, and then how to therefore export data from iGasLog back to the anaesthetic logbook. So here we are, we're within the ROCA application, and this is version 7 of their application, and you can see here that within ROCA logbook there are 3093 records. So to export the file is really easy. All you do is you go to File, Export Records, and we need to select comma separated text because that's what iGasLog expects to see. And we'll choose a sensible file name. We'll call this ROCA logbook. We're going to say it's a desktop because then it's easy to find it. Hit save, and then we've got some options to look at. Really the only thing we need to check here is this field order. This field order is important because iGasLog expects to see data in a particular order, and if it doesn't know where to find it. So please just take a moment to make sure that this is correct, and you can pause the video just to have a look at this order if necessary. But essentially it needs to be in this order, so it's date, reference number, date of birth, sex, ASA, priority, speciality, start, finish times of the anaesthetic, the primary anaesthetic, procedure 1 through 3, and then incidents 1 through 3, supervision, operation, notes, the 2 user-defined fields, the secondary anaesthetic used, the age, the trainee ID, and the GMC number. As long as you have that field order, then you shouldn't run into any problems. So once you check that, head export, and then we're done. So if we're going to cycle over now to the iPhone simulator, we can see on the desktop here is the file that the ROCA logbook has just generated for us, and we'll be using that in a moment. So if we launch the application, we'll just take a moment doing that. If you remember in the first tutorial I mentioned the web portal down here, and this is the device we use to transfer files. So we'll just make a note of that. The address we need to use to access the web portal is http://127.0.0.1:8000. So we're going to go to a web browser. We've got a web browser ready to go over here, and all we're going to do is we're going to type that into here. So 127.0.0.1:8000, and you can see we're now onto the web portal. Now you can see it says iGasLog web portal and it says John Doe's logbook. And if you remember from the first tutorial, John Doe was what we set up as the name of the owner of the logbook back in settings. So this web portal lists all the files that you've got stored, and it's going to have files for import, which is what we're interested in. And later on it will list any exported data files and report files that you can download from the web portal. So for the moment we need to select the file that we wish to upload into iGasLog for import, and to do that we hit the browse button. We need to look in our desktop, that's where we've saved it, and we need to select the right file. So in this case ROCA logbook.csv. Hit open, hit submit, and then almost instantaneously we can see that file is now on iGasLog. So if we go back to the iGasLog application and we go to main menu and import data, there we go, we can see that file is now ready to go. And all we've got to do to import that data is literally just click on it and it will then import that data. Now the iPhone simulator does this quite quickly because this is running on a desktop computer. The actual iPhone itself will take a bit longer, and about 3,000 records, which this is, takes about 5 minutes. So you may want to go and make yourself a cup of tea, but don't be alarmed that it takes a little bit longer. So this is now just finishing off, and you can see that it claims now it's successfully imported 3,093 or 3,093 rows. And you can see at the bottom it's given a record count of 3,094. Don't forget, of course, we created a record in the previous tutorial, and that's still here. So that's it. That is literally how you go about importing data from logbook, and there's nothing more complicated than that. So the reverse is even simpler. To export logbook, all we do is we go to main menu, export data. It will then crack on and generate the export file. Just give it a moment to do that. And then when it's done, it says that you may now use your computer's web browser to download that export file. So if we go straight back to that web browser and we just refresh that page, you can see now we've got a new file that's ready and for its download. And the name of the file is always iGasLog export and then the date you've generated it. So literally just click on that file, and you need to not open it. Some web browsers, when you click on it, will try and open it with a web browser, with a text editor. Really, you just need to save this directly to the desktop or somewhere. So just go save file. Okay, we'll save it to the desktop because then we know where it is. Click save, and that's done. And you can see on my desktop here is the file that we've literally just downloaded from the iGasLog web portal. Now this works on any web browser. It works. I happen to be using Firefox. It works also on Safari. It works on Google's new web browser called Google Chrome, and it works on Windows Internet Explorer. So you can use any web browser, and therefore you can use this from any computer, be it a Mac-based or a PC, or indeed another operating system that maybe you're using. Okay, so that is how to import and export data to and from iGasLog. Thank you very much for listening. In the next tutorial, we'll be looking at how to create a report and then to download that for research purposes or anything like that. Thank you for listening.